Hello, everybody. Today I'm talking about why we should study Vedic astrology. Vedic astrology is known as Jyotisha, the science of light. And it is a very important subject that we should all study. Of course, most of you are already following a lot of Jyotish, and that is wonderful. And why it is important, and what are the things that Jyotish can teach? It is always regarded as a divine science. And I did this seminar online, and I'd like to share it with you. Hello, I'm Komilla Sutton, and we are talking about why study Vedic astrology. Do remember to subscribe, press the bell notification. So, why should we study Vedic astrology? It is most important. I always think of my life before Jyotish, after Jyotish. Jyotish is the Sanskrit name for Vedic astrology. Jyotish means light, the god of light. And this is the light that shines on us. And it has been the most wonderful thing to study it. You see, you can always get your charts done and you can get somebody else to interpret it. But to truly understand what this great science is, you must study yourself.
Hello, everybody. Today we are talking about why we should study Vedic astrology. And this is a webinar we are doing, and I will just share my screen with all of you. Everybody, today we are talking about why studying Vedic astrology is important for you. This is Lord Ganesha, and this is me at the local temple. My website is komilla.com. You must know that already. And I'm going to begin with the chanting for Lord Ganesha and some other chanting as well. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha Niravignam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakareshu Sarvada. Om Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Param Brahman Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Om Brahma Murari Sripurantakari Bhanu Shashi Bhumi Suto Buddhascha Guruscha Shukraha Shanirahu Ketava Sarve Graha Shanti Bhavo. Om Shaniye Namaha. Om Shaniye Namaha. Om Shaniye Namaha. Om Nilanjana Samabhasam Ravi Putram Yamagrajam Chayya Maratanda Sambhutam Tam Namami Shanishcharam. So I just want to let you know about my conference. This is happening 26 to 27 January. So it's from next week. So if you'd like to join, do look it up on my website, komilla.com, and the topic is Nakshatras. It's a very interesting conference. The fresh talents mean that I give opportunity to my students to lecture and to present to a worldwide audience. And this is the 10th time I'm doing it, and it's all online. So if you start studying with me once you have reached a certain level, 3 years of study, then you can be one of the presenters as well. And uh, the live courses are beginning in March, and the early bird ends next week on 21st. So if you want to get the early bird prices, then this is a good time to book them. So let us start with our topic, and why studying Vedic astrology is important for you. Uh, and I will answer questions at the end of the class. Again, you can do Q&A. So why studying Vedic astrology is important for you. This photograph of mine is taken at the local temple here. I live in California, and this photograph is taken at the Livermore Temple, beautiful temple, very close to where I live. So it's always a pleasure to visit. And so Vedic astrology is a divine path, a divine science. It is a path to self-knowledge that helps us understand who we are. It is known as Jyotisha. You see, what happens is that we tend to think that um, astrology is just about predicting things and to look into the future. The main job is about self-knowledge, to understand who you are. I always think of myself, my life before Vedic astrology, after, because it has given me so much inner peace and confidence to this self-knowledge. So this is the main part. And this name Jyotisha, it itself is the Sanskrit name for Vedic astrology, gives you some clues. Jyotisha can be translated as the science of light or the wisdom of heavens. Light banishes darkness, light of knowledge dispels ignorance. So you see, the whole idea about Jyotisha is that it brings light to us to understand not only what we have brought into this life, our birth chart, the dashas we are going through, the transits, all those things. It is really most enlightening subject. The light of the stars and luminaries guide us through the darkness towards the right path. The inner light, which once we learn to recognize, gives us the opportunity to look deeper within our consciousness, to move towards the path of enlightenment and be in touch with our real self. This is the greatness of Jyotish, because it helps us to truly, you know, understand. It takes time. You can't say, I just do one class, I'll understand. It takes time as we understand the knowledge. So Jyotisha is a Vedanga and the eye of the Vedas. Vedas are ancient scriptures of knowledge. Anga means a part or a division. Without Jyotish, it is impossible to decode them correctly. So as the eye of the Vedas, it can see that sacred knowledge. Is something very important. Jyotish was always given the greatest regard by the ancients, because it is what is making us see what life is. What is the karma we have inherited? What are the things? So without eyes, we cannot see. Therefore, Jyotish is the eyes with which we see and study Vedas, both outer and inner meaning. Jyotisha has been given a prime position in Vedas. Actually, I notice sometimes I've written Jyotisha and Jyotish. Both are correct. There's Both pronunciations are also correct. Jyotish gives us the eyes to see our life in the right and proper way, to understand the karma we bring into life, and how to understand the strength and weaknesses of time. You see, that is really the other aspect, that sometimes the time is uh, difficult or complicated. So understanding that weakness of time so that we can do something about it. It's not just understanding and being victim of it. It is being enlightened and then being able to do something about it. Jyotisha deals with the fruits of our karma, what we bring into this life, how we deal with the predisposed issues of life. You see, some aspect of karma is predisposed. It is old stuff that we have to face, but how to deal with it, that also is important. As a student of Jyotisha, we learn to understand what is the karma we bring to this life. This is revealed through the birth chart. The chart at birth represents how past life karma is influencing us, what karma we need to fulfill in this life, and to understand that the soul within is divine. Yet our life is colored by our planets. The soul's true nature becomes obscured by the planets at birth, as well as the planets that influence us through transits. So you see the light of the soul, all of us within our complicated, simple, spiritual life, whatever type of life you have, uh, our soul is pure inside, but how to access it? Because all the planets, grahas, life is covering that situation. So we are not truly getting the meaning of life. So what is karma? Karma is action, both of past and present lives. All actions have a reaction. Actions of previous lives have to be dealt with. So when we talk about karma, mostly we are talking about past life karma, but the karma we do right now also is very important. So there are three levels of karma: Sanchita, which is collected karma, of which we cannot do anything about; Prarabdha, the happening karma, what we have to face in this life; Kriyamana karma, the present actions that become Sanchita of the future. Kriyamana karma is also known as Agami. So, what is the Sanchita karma? Soul during its many incarnations starts collecting positive, negative qualities created by right or wrong choices from previous lives. Unfinished karma that we need to deal with now all becomes stored in Sanchita. Sanchita Karma is studied from Panchanga, Rashi, and its Varga charts. So you see, the thing is this, that Sanchita Karma is karma that is already done. So let's say you did something this morning, you can't undo it. You can try to resolve it, you can try to work with it, or say last week you were angry with somebody or you did something that you feel was not right, then that is part of your karma. So when we are born, then all sorts of things that we don't remember mostly are collected in the karma, and this Sanchita karma is indicated in our birth chart. What is the things that we have inherited in this life? It's not all negative, it can be positive stuff. You did something good yesterday, you did something good in past lives, that is also part of your Sanchita karma. Prarabdha karma experiences dealing with old karma become tests in this life where we can struggle with the collected Sanchita or be helped by it. Again, birth chart, dashas, transits will reflect it. Dasha, especially, this is a speciality of Vedic astrology. It's your times of life. And then transits, what is happening now. Generally, Prarabdha karma, the things that we experience now, is also connected to the planet Saturn, because Saturn will be part of our Prarabdha, what we need to deal with. And then the last one is Kriyamana karma, and this is choices. While we cannot do anything about past Sanchita or present Prarabdha, we can make sure we take uh, care of the present by doing the right Kriyamana karma, making the correct choices today for our future tomorrow. So this is most important because we have a certain karma that we inherit. We are facing the unfolding of the karma through dashas and transits. But then what is our free will? Kriyamana, what is our choice? How do we react now? But you see, this free will cannot be just exercise. We have to mature. We have to have the awareness that there is something that we can do. And once we understand that, it is a very beautiful situation for you. So Kriyamana choices means detoxify from the past, let go of the past, reconcile with the past, cleanse the present, think how you can improve today. And then most important is make good choices for the future. That is why, the sages always suggested that never do something impulsively. Take your time, allow this time to develop so that you are able to make the right choices for the future. So understanding karma is the key reason to study Jyotish. Karma from past life, colors are present. The main purpose of life is to reconcile with the past karma so that it does not become burden for the future. But it's also not becoming burden for the present. So we need to understand our karma. Once we understand that this whole concept of karma, then, and I can tell you, when I was younger, I had no idea this was there. And I'm born in India. People used to talk about karma, and I didn't have that deeper understanding. Once I started studying Jyotish and I started seeing all these factors, then I'm also like many of you, was trying to make sense of my life. And it made so much sense when I started studying Jyotish, and I could then, over the time period, make improvements to myself. So what do we look at? The karma, we look at the birth chart. Panchanga at birth reflects the karma. I'm not showing charts just now because I think that most of you are new to the astrology. So we are discussing this factor today more. So how the karma unfolds is studied from the dashas we experience. Dasha is a wonderful system in Jyotish. Right from the moment you're born, different planets rule different dashas. So we understand this and we are unfolding the experience as we go along. And facing karma, dealing with karma, making the choices, it's all the dashas are what are the guide and the transits that we have to deal with. So for example, right now, Jupiter is in Pisces. It's a wonderful time. Saturn is about to move from Capricorn to Aquarius. These are Vedic astrology positions, not Western astrology positions. So you have to learn quite a lot of things that I will teach. So what is important to understand is that it's not the karma you're born with that is important, but what is most important is how you deal with the karma you're born with. This is the key to happy life. All of us, nobody has a perfect chart, nobody has a perfect life, but some people understand and know how to deal with their issues. And this is the guidance that is given through Jyotish. And this is also something that I love to do. I like to advise during the class how to deal with it, what to do. It's not just this is the technique and that's what it is. So no one has a perfect birth chart. Our role is to recognize our strengths and weaknesses, support the weaknesses while work with our strengths. So my Guruji used to always say that look at your strengths, don't worry about the weaknesses, because if we uh, strengthen our strengths, then we are much more able to deal with our weaknesses. You see, if we only focus on our weakness, then we start pitying ourselves, or we start feeling overwhelmed by the situation. So this is most important. Then Panchanga is the essence of how sun moon relate to each other, the quality of the day, light the day expresses, how the mind and soul interact. Now, Panchanga I actually don't teach in the first 3 years. This year, I am doing an advanced course on Panchanga. So those of you who want to join the advanced course can join the Panchanga. And personal Panchanga is the Panchanga at the time of birth. It shows us how the chart, uh, how to study the chart in the right way. It gives light in order to decode the birth chart. I do talk about Panchanga in the course, but the advanced Panchanga this year is a different class. So at the center of all this, the planets hold the destiny. Planets reflect the karma that we have. The celestial bodies in the sky reveal these mysteries of life. The planets that are moving, the nakshatras, stars that are fixed, planets influence every aspect of on earth, the atmosphere, nature of seasons, plant, animal life, man's destiny. So it is planets that reveal the karma of the individual. Nakshatras too, but planets, both of them are revealing the. So central to our study is the Navagrahas, 9 planets, collectively known as Navagraha. Nava means 9 and Graha is planets. These are the planets that were visible with the naked eye. We do not use Uranus, Pluto, Neptune. In Vedic astrology, we do not study it. It is studied in Western astrology. There are some modern Vedic astrologers that add Uranus, Pluto, Neptune. I teach traditional Vedic astrology, so I will not be using Uranus, Pluto, Neptune. So first, we study the Navagrahas as a whole. And so what are the Navagrahas? The 2 luminaries, sun and moon, 5 planets, Mars, Mercury, Jupiter, Venus, Saturn, Rahu, Ketu, the nodes of the moon, are the 9 planets of Jyotish. Now this is again from the Livermore temple. These are the Navagrahas. Actually, we can't see all of them here, but here at the front is Saturn, right behind him is Sun, and on this white color is Moon, red here is Mars, on the right hand side in blue is Rahu, left hand side is Mercury, yellow is Jupiter, and red is Mars, and sorry, Ketu. You can't see Venus. Venus is hidden behind the sun. So in many temples, you will see that they have a temple to the Navagrahas, the 9 planets, and you can find a lot of pictures of them as well. This year, I'm taking a trip to the Navagrahas next month, actually. In February, I'm going there, and we will visit the 9 planetary temples of the so there's a lot of planetary temples in India, and it's very interesting. And here we can see the prayer to the Navagrahas, and they chant to everything. And here is the missing Venus. So you can see Venus here. This is the moon, and behind Venus is the sun. You couldn't see the sun very clearly in the other picture. So this is the opposite side to it. So let us just do the chanting to the Navagrahas. Om Brahma Murari Stipurantakari Bhanu Shashi Bhumi Suto Budhascha Guruscha Shukraha Shanirahu Ketava Sarve Graha Shanti Bhavo. So basically, it's this chant is saying that um, please, all the planets, Shanti Bhavo, please be at peace for us. Honoring, praying to the Navagrahas, very much part of the tradition that we follow in Jyotish. And the planets are known as Grahas in Sanskrit. Graha means to grasp, hold, to understand, to perceive. Planets grasp and relay the information of the cosmos. It shows the grasp or hold of karma too. So, our soul, which is divine, which is hidden inside us, has got grasped by these. You could say, it is grasped by our personality of how we are, who we are. And so this aspect of our inner light has got obscured. So we have to learn how to purify that. But first we have to learn what is obscuring it. So the grahas can both block the knowledge of past, keep the individual held to the vagaries of their karma, or give them perception to understand their destiny, their restrictions imposed by karma of past life, so that they can transcend. You see, the main aspect of an individual soul is to transcend the karma, transcend the planets, but you can't do it without understanding what it is and to try to work with the energy. So the quality of the planets at birth, their relationship with each other, strengths, weaknesses, their inner outer nature give the clues of our own instinct, level of karma we are going to be encountering. You see, sometimes in the chart, you'll see there are great strengths, So for example, if a baby is born today, baby will be born with Jupiter in Pisces, Saturn in Capricorn. Strong planets are there. So this is most important, where the moon is, what are the things. But at times, you are born with more difficult karma. And often, when you are studying Jyotish or trying to find yourself, you find that karma is more complicated. And the reason is this, because you are mature soul and you're trying to overcome those issues. So it is this level of karma, and then what are we doing about it? That's the main thing. It's not what you've inherited, but are you doing? But sometimes, let's say, it takes longer for us to resolve the issues. Planets give a guideline to our karma. We should not feel victimized by them, rather understand their qualities, weakness, strength, and work accordingly. That is the most important thing. So let us look at the planets. So number of these photographs that are taken by me at the different temples I visited over the years, and some I've picked up from online. So this is Surya, the sun. Usually in all temples, when we go, we find that there is a separate temple to Surya, the small temple, and sometimes even in the temple carvings there's Surya. And so this beautiful Surya temple, and so Surya is the sun, he's the light, he's our confidence, he's the natural indicator of the soul in our chart. So always we pay importance to Surya, uh, and then we have Surya as the sun. Moon has got two words, Soma or Chandra, and this is the moon. And this photograph I took in Rajasthan and Shekhawati. And here you see the moon, usually easier to recognize because he's wearing the moon, half moon on his shoulder, and riding the deer. You can see all the planets have their deities. And if you see behind there, you have flying elephants. Before the poor elephants got cursed and they were came down to earth, they used to fly. So here we have beautiful picture of the flying elephant. So or Chandra, those are the names for the moon. And moon is the most important planet because moon represents our mind, our happiness, our contentment, and Jyotish pays great importance to the moon. Moon at birth decides what is your first dasha, how to transit, and a lot of remedies, yogic remedies, spiritual remedies, practical remedies are given how to manage your moon. So if you are born with a difficult moon, that I was born with a difficult moon, but once I learned that Jyotish, this is the issue, then I could do something about it. If you don't know what the issue is, you don't know what to do about it. So this is Mangala Mars, and you can see here, this photo is from the Livermore temple. And here behind Mars, right at the back, you can see Ketu. But otherwise, this is the other planets here. This is Venus and Mercury. But Mars is our energy, it's our fire, our motivation. But Mars is the planet of wars. So he also encourages us to argue and defend ourselves. So you see, each planet has a role to play. And we have to understand what the role is, how to express it. And that is very important. Buddha, Mercury. This photograph I took of Buddha in Delhi. There's a temple for Saturn in Delhi, in Mehrauli, near Mehrauli. Those of you know Delhi, and there they have a beautiful Navagraha, but for me, Buddha is the best because his color is green. And here we can see Buddha is intellect. So he represents our intellect. Moon represents the mind, our emotional, intuitive mind, and Buddha is just the intellectual part of it. I just want to also show you, excuse me, just go back to the planets. Surya's color is red. Soma, moon, is white. Each planet has its own color. Mangala, Mars, and Buddha is green. And Brihaspati, Jupiter. So right now, Jupiter is in Pisces. He's very good. So if you begin study now, you get the best Jupiter. So Brihaspati's color is yellow. You see at the temples, they dress the planets according to the colors as well. And Guru is the teacher, the divine teacher. Brihaspati is supposed to be the teacher of the gods as well. And he is our inner wisdom. And he represents, you see, we can be intellectual, we can be very bright, but we may not be wise. So you see, we have the mind planets and we have the wisdom planet as well. Then Shukra, Venus, and Venus is also the other guru, but he's regarded as the guru of the demons, and he is the guru that is uh, uh, full of knowledge and wisdom, but he advises uh, the average person, you can see. So Jupiter advises the gods and Venus advises the demons. They're both highly knowledgeable. They themselves are not like that, but they are. And this photograph is from a temple in Highgate Hill in London. It's a Muruga temple. You see, I'm keep my photography very well, and I take photos everywhere. And these days, you don't have to go to India to visit the temples. In your own city, if you find a Indian temple, most probably you will find the Navagraha there as well. Here in Bay Area, where I live, San Francisco Bay Area, there are many, many temples that I can visit. And even I visit a beautiful one in Sacramento and LA. So, there are a lot of opportunities for you as well. And then, sorry, Venus's color is white. You can see they're all male deities. They have their female planets. Then Saturn, today is Shani's day. And Shani, you can see in black or navy. Today, you can see I'm wearing kind of blue. Here it looks more green, and I don't know, but I'm wearing a blue color in honor of Lord Shani today, as we are doing the um, class on Saturday. But Shani, I couldn't put black, blue, navy, dark color. You see, Shani's description is Neelanjana Samabhasam. He's a color of blue, but mostly you'll see him dressed in black. But here's Shani again from the Livermore temple. And Shani represents karma that we have to face. So how does Shani make us deal with karma? Firstly, his position in your birth chart. Then, if you are experiencing Shani, either the main dasha or the bhukti or sabdasha. And thirdly, through the transit of Shani. So right now, Saturn is in Capricorn. On 17th of January, Saturn moves into Aquarius. This is 2023. And so we have a change of Saturn's position. I actually put a video about Saturn in Aquarius on YouTube. And so you will see that there. And so Shani is the karma that we need to deal with. So we all need to respect him, be friends with him, and honor his energy. Because if we deal with karma, it's just like paying off your loans. You feel a lot lighter and lot better. And then we have these two very unusual, wonderful planets called Rahu Ketu. And they have huge prominence in this because Rahu Ketu represent the past karma that we have left unfulfilled. You see, the difference is Saturn represents karma that we need to deal with now. But Rahu Ketu are our desires, our unfulfilled desires from past life. So they are shadow planets, have no substance, physically non-existence, as they are points in the ecliptic. However, they represent great disruptive powers with their polarities, with a mission to churn our lives in order to externalize the hidden potential. But Rahu Ketu Chayya Grahas. Rahu Ketu also represent this unfulfilled past life desires, which are lying in our subconscious, they are lying in our psyche, and so we don't know what it is. And those desires create disruptions in our life because we think, oh, we desperately need to do this, or we hold on to certain aspects that we have no idea what they are. So as Rahu Ketu, you see that this is Rahu, and he has the head only. This photograph of Rahu I took in Maharashtra. This is actually a Ganesha temple, but they had beautiful Navagraha paintings there where I took. So you see here Rahu, he has no body, he has just the head. So he's only thinking, I want this, and he's not thinking how that I've already consumed so much, I should process it. So this very interesting aspect um, of the chart to understand your Rahu and Ketu. And Rahu, you see, he's riding a tiger. So tiger is the fiercest animal. So Rahu is riding the tiger. And Ketu has a body and no head. This photograph of Ketu I took at the Paramartha Ashram in Rishikesh. You see, I've been traveling, and in my travels I take, and I think this is a wonderful photograph of Ketu because Ketu is headless. So he's not very practical. He deals with our past karma. things that are our karmic baggage from past life that we need to address right now. So, so the main thing about um, Rahu Ketu is, and the planets, sorry, not Rahu Ketu, but this whole study of Jyotisha is the conscious understanding of the planets, the forces within us, you know. They are all forces and energies. They are influenced on our chart by dasha and transits. That is the key factor when we are looking at this aspect. And so during our life, we are faced with obstacles and opportunities. Timing of our life is revealed through the dasha system. So what is the time of life? And the transits we experience. So each one of us will be in a particular dasha at a given time. And then, as I said, that we are experiencing the transit. Suppose you have a moon in Capricorn, then Saturn is going over your moon. If you have moon in Aquarius, Saturn is coming there. You know, what is the dasha you're experiencing? Are you ending a dasha? Are you starting a new dasha? So this is the dasha system is unique to Vedic astrology, and we study this. Um, so Dasha is unique to Vedic astrology, Jyotisha. They reveal how karma unfolds, what we are dealing with, and when. You know, the timing of our life. This is the most important factor. At least this is what I found myself. That I used to always think when there used to be a good time, it's going to last forever. And then suddenly something, and we'd be having a crisis. Whereas with Jyotish, you can see, you know, this is a good time. Every year there are some difficult energies. Last week I did a video about 2023. You can go on my website and get, if you want to buy that video. But you see, every year we have certain months of the year that are not so easy, what we need to do. So this is most important to understand this, not because you want to be suppressed by it, but because you want to know what we are dealing with, when, and what you can do. The Gochara transits are when we deal with the transits of the planets. Moon changes daily. Other planets will move through positive, negative, crisis positions. These impact us and the world around us. So you see, moon is in a new nakshatra every day. Whereas, say, Saturn, which is changing on 17th of January, it's going to be there in Aquarius till 29th March 2025. So it's over a 2.25 year transit. So it's there for a long time. So every planet has a different rhythm, and how it travels is different. So this is most important aspect to understand. So our role in why we want to study Jyotish, why we want to understand, uh, is to understand the karma we have inherited in this life. This we must reconcile and purify. Then how it unfolds, what obstacles we face regularly in trying to purify. So we are not, we are using our time positively, because we are learning the karma that is there. And as we go along, you know, I have been doing astrology almost, I think, over 40 years now. And you can see all the gray. And you know, over the years, there's more and more purification. But without Jyotish, I would not have known that this is what I need to resolve. And also, you still get obstacles. Nobody is perfect. We all are humans, so we get obstacles, then we have to overcome them. And but our role is to have some plan of action. Dashas or transits are forever throwing challenges in our life. If we face them without true knowledge, we get more and more enmeshed in karma, stuck in our situations. However, our path is to purify, improve, let go, rise above the situation. Sometimes we can't, but we are, I would say, a work in progress. All of us are a work in progress. We are not perfect, but we can aspire for perfection. That is what is purification. We can aspire for it, but as you go, we get much better. And so uh, key to Jyotish is the Upaye. Upaye means remedies. They are very important in Vedic astrology. It's not the chart you're born with, but how you deal with it. And it's not just that you do a prayer, there are practical yogic spiritual remedies to deal with the chart, times of life, and transits. They help to balance us. So, I talk about remedies all the time, and I'm not only giving um, uh, you know uh, prayer remedies, all like giving a lot of practical advice how to deal, also yogic lifestyle choices, ayurveda, all sorts of things. As we go along, we talk about this in the classes. So studying Vedic astrology, first step of studying astrology is that it helps us by understanding what karma we inherit, how and when it unfolds, how to deal with it, to be conscious of our karmic journey. The knowledge of Vedic astrology shines its light on us. The eye of the Veda not only illuminates what is outer, more material world, but makes us get in touch with our inner world too. Help us deal with the changing times, know the weakness of time so that we can compensate for it, not allow negative times to destroy all our good intentions, take support of the good times. As you get more advanced with the knowledge, you can develop into advisor for others to help them understand their divine path. I have been teaching since the 90s, and so many of my students are teachers in their own right. They are consultants, they advise people, they teach. And but I feel that the most important is how much it helps you. And so so as far as when to study now, as you are studying, I teach live courses annually from March. So what is important to understand, I am going to be live, like I'm there tomorrow. It is not a recorded course. I will be in every class. I explain the knowledge in an easy, direct way, and will use your charts to explain planets, dashas, techniques. It's a huge subject. So it's not that you'll immediately understand everything, but it's like a step-by-step process. And I am there all the way to guide. Uh, uh, oh, sorry. Uh, so I'm actually also got Chinese students who are doing, so this was, my 2023 courses are beginning in March. This photograph is at my home. I have a beautiful Lord Buddha in the back, in my back garden. So we have from 6th of March, we have the foundation course, 7th rules of interpretation, 8th of March prediction techniques. And so the first, obviously, most important course is the foundation course, and it starts at 6th of March. Now, foundation courses, there are 36 classes in the course, and they are available 7 p.m. GMT and 6 p.m. Pacific time. So two classes are there. I have students from all over the world. I think I have Japan, Asia, China, Malaysia, Singapore, India, Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Bahrain also. I have somebody. I have Middle East, Israel, Europe, USA, South America, South Africa, everywhere it is there. And so we have the for all the courses, but foundation is the beginning course, and all the syllabus is online. You can look up on my website. Then the rules of interpretation, which is 7th March to 7th November, same 36 classes, two lessons that you have. And rules of interpretation talks about a lot of advanced techniques, also yogas, Atma Karaka, Chara Karakas, Dagda Rashis. I don't even remember all the stuff I teach. But you know, sometimes you guys may have done a lot of study before. So I'm happy if you want to start with Rules of Interpretation course. I find that there's so many techniques I teach that you may not have learned. Sometimes people want to start at prediction course. I don't advise that. In prediction course, I do Dashas, Transits. I also look at Prashna. I teach Ashtaka Varga. I teach all these things are my favorites. You know, I like to teach them. And I also teach uh, relationship compatibility, Varshapals, lot of stuff that you learn. But I find that some of the techniques, Aruda Lagna, all those are taught in year 2. So the rules is very important course. If you look at the syllable, I would recommend, if you don't want to do the foundation, you've already studied, you can start with prediction. Then every year I have a advanced course. And the advanced course is this year is on Panchanga, Panchanga and personal Panchanga. This is not about Mahurata. This is about Panchanga. This is 6 p.m., not 7 p.m. Pacific. Yeah, 6 p.m. the classes, 6 p.m., 7 p.m. GMT, 6 p.m. Pacific. This is a typo here. And this is a super advanced course, so I expect you to be knowledgeable in Jyotish. So it is not for beginners, it's a level 4. I change the level 4 every year. So 2023, it is Panchanga. Last year, we were looking at transits. Every year, there's a advanced course. So that is my overall aspect. I want to just remind you also, let me just change this. 6 p.m. And I also want to remind you about the Nakshatra conference that I spoke about right at the beginning. This may be something you're interested in. It's happening this this month, and this is from 26th to 29th of January, sorry, 2023. So if you are interested, you can look at that. So now I am ready to answer any questions you have. So I'm going to look at if you have any questions. I don't see any questions, all of you. Mm, good. We have somebody from Hawaii as well. Hello, Kala. Nice to have you here. And so for the courses, the early bird is 21st of January. So if you want to book at that time, then that is good. And let me see if there's any question. There is no scholarship to study at present. You know, you can email me in March, because depending on the size of the classes at present, I don't have a scholarship available at present. But there is an installment plan. Yes, it is available. Mm, and I do cover remedies, role of yagya, can you do someone's Panchang chart? Yes, you can. I have a book on it. And you can read my book on personal Panchanga. And in which course do you look at nakshatras? I look at them in depth in all the classes. I look at them in the foundation, and then after the foundation, I look at all the um, mm, mm, um, in all the courses, because for techniques and all we have to look at this thing. So Kala, aloha to you as well, and thank you, mahalo. And thank you, all of you, for attending this. And I just wanted to say one sec, let me just go right to the end. And so I want to thank you for it, and thank you for attending. And you can sign up for my newsletter, but I do regular postings on YouTube, and I am going to post this seminar on YouTube. So if you want to listen to it, you can listen to it via YouTube. And my channel is Komilla Sutton channel on YouTube. And that is there. And my email, my website, komilla9@gmail.com, my website, komilla.com. I also post on Twitter, but Twitter, usually I'm posting what I'm doing on YouTube. So I want to thank you. This is Lord Shiva with baby Ganesha. I love this picture. Thank you very much. And I'm just seeing if there's any final question. So somebody has asked, what level of expertise do you expect in order to bypass foundation and enroll in rules? Well, I leave the expertise choice to yourself. If you have done the foundation, the syllabus is there online, and you can look at what is happening in how much you know of the foundation course. And if you feel you have studied, I have number of students who start at rule of interpretation and do very well. The big advantage is, suppose you feel you're struggling, you can always go and go, you can decide to do the foundation course at the same time. But I have many students who successfully do the rules, and because they have done number of other, studied with other teachers as well. So I leave that to you to decide. So thank you, everybody. And I really appreciate you spending your Saturday morning, evening with me. And I hope some of you will join my classes, and I look forward to seeing you. Namaste. Om. I'm just going to do a chant just at the end. Om Triambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Uruvarukamiva Bandhanan Mrityormukshi Amamritat. Om Shanti 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 Om. Thank you.